10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Just know it, I can feel it, yo, they're having sex. And let me in, I'm trying to fuck. Let me in, I'm trying to fuck.
Yes. New intro.
What the fuck was I subjected to, and why?
Because it's great and it makes me laugh and puts a smile on my damn face. I got more. Don't even play. I got more.
I want to go poke my eyeballs out.
I got more. Watch this one.
Let me in, I'm trying to fuck. Let me in, I'm trying to fuck. Let me in, I'm trying to fuck now. I said, let me in. You gotta let me have it. Let me get a party now. Hey.
Yes.
Okay, I came in like late. I have no idea what the context this is.
There is no context. It's just some videos and stuff that I found and edited together. Like, there's no fucking context.
Okay.
Just a way to open the show. Yes. Anyway, what's up, people?
We're definitely awake now.
We are. I like it. I like it. Woo! Anyway, welcome to the Geek Chat, people. How's everybody doing today? Everybody doing well?
Just fine.
Good.
As I said last night, finest frog hair twice as thin.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Everybody having a good weekend so far, I hope? I haven't done much today. I went to the movies today. We will talk about that later.
I did nothing today, so I'm doing good.
Oh, that's a great Saturday. I don't do jack shit.
Yeah. Well, I'll take it back. We made it a really good pork loin roast.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, did nothing. I ate that.
Yeah. Damn. Anyway. I don't even know where to start. There's so many things going on this week. So many things I watched and consumed, and several trailers and all kinds of stuff, man. Crazy stuff that was going on. Yeah, I don't know. Hold on.
I kind of watched some of the Marvels on one of those things on the thing. I skimmed around it because it's hard to try to watch that thing.
It was, first of all, I saw the version that was there, and it was horrible.
Oh yeah, but
it was god awful. Because I was telling I was like, because I took my daughter to go see it this morning, and my wife didn't want to go to the movies, but she wanted to see it just to see what it was, just watch it. She's watched all the Marvel stuff, and so we clicked on it to see if it was like, going to be something, because she won't watch shitty looking. Like, they had to be really good looking, otherwise she's like, I'll just fucking wait. And yeah, we started to put it on, and she was like, nah, I'm not watching this shit. It's like the whole opening scene was so dark, you couldn't tell what the fuck was going on the website. The sound was really good, because, I mean, I had just watched it at the movies, so I was like, well, it sounds good, but the picture's fucked. So,
oh, yeah.
But we'll talk about that in a little bit. We're gonna get to that. Don't worry. I want to start today's chat with the season finale of Loki,
which was awesome.
Awesome.
It was great, but it did not end how I was expecting it to.
It did not. I did not see that ending coming. Not that it. Okay, so let me temper everybody's expectations. Okay, it's not like it was some huge fucking like Avengers level fucking thing that happened at the end. But like I just didn't see that happening for his character. And now I am very, very curious where his character goes from here, because okay, that's fair warning, people, if you haven't watched it yet. Loki is now essentially the god of all time.
Yes, and he
All
is
time in all the multiverses. He is the god of all time in every universe.
He is the heart of time and space.
Yes. That is how the show ended.
Without him, all the timelines would collapse.
Yes.
He is holding everything together.
I'm wondering how that. I mean, I'm wondering if this is gonna. I mean, you know, how they're gonna play this into the rest of the Marvel universe, especially going into Secret Wars and stuff like that. I'm assuming.
I love his look too. It's more like
a dude, he
comic
bad ass.
Yes.
Yeah, he did.
When he was walking down the platform and then like his fucking regular clothes were getting blown off by all the radiation, and then all of a sudden the fucking which
I never
robes
did
grew
understand
out,
too.
fucking horns came out.
Why he wasn't even like picked to go instead of Timely anyway, because you know, like he is, as Guardians are more durable and time don't affect them as much as regular humans.
Yeah, it was, dude. It was cool. It was. We got a little bit of time loop in there with the time loop episode at the beginning for like the first 10 minutes, which is great. I love a good time loop story. Time loops just fucking. They're always great, whether they're in Star Trek, or Groundhog's Day, or Stargate, or whatever. I love a good time loop story.
With as powerful as he got in that episode, really, only way that he could go back if he reset, he wasn't time skipping.
Yeah.
Because he became master of time and space.
Oh, yeah. He's like...
Even before he became basically the god of time and space.
He became so far out of every individual person, entity, whatever we've seen in the Marvel Universe, in the MCU. He in this episode became the most powerful being we've ever seen.
Yep. Kang was a joke to him.
Yes. Yeah, like Kang just like sat at the end of time, like trying to keep one timeline straight and prevent others from branching out. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. This was him like controlling not just one timeline, controlling just an infinite number of timelines with no technology, no nothing, just through sheer force of will, controlling every timeline in existence ad infinitum. Just because, like, he literally became the most powerful being in the Marvel universe.
And Kang does it through technology. Loki was doing it through power.
Yeah, and even through technology, Kang had to have an entire organization to control just one timeline to keep even so much as one branch from coming off of it, because he couldn't control it if it happened. He could control one timeline. That's it. Loki was just like, oh, infinite timelines? Fucking A, let's go. Like, he became like the god of the Marvel universe essentially in that moment. And it was fucking awesome.
Yep.
It was great. Yeah. And like, I want to see what comes next. I'm assuming he's got to come in during Secret Wars. He's got to appear. I mean, we know what Secret Wars is going to be.
He right now he's exhibiting more power than the Beyonder.
Mm-hmm.
Unless Loki is going to take the place of the Beyonder.
I mean, as far as power level, yes. I mean, he's not really in the same position as the Beyonder was as far as
right.
What he was trying to accomplish or anything. And I don't see them just turning him into the Beyonder. I think they've got a better course for the character. I don't know, man. It was fucking great. I loved every goddamn minute of it. Oh, and we also know now that, Loki is probably a couple thousand years older now than he was at the beginning of the episode.
Oh, yeah. Centuries passed because he
just going through the time loop over and over again for probably a couple thousand years. Which, of course, Asgardians just get more powerful the older they get. So, I mean, yeah, it was a big upgrade for Loki. Like just as a character all around, and he's now become a completely different character than where we first saw him in the first Thor movie or Avengers or anything else. Like he's surpassed as a character the original version of himself that died in Infinity War. You know?
Oh yeah, this version of Loki would make Thanos his bitch.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, holy shit. Yeah, it was fucking awesome. It was great. I loved it. I've liked Loki from the very beginning. It's been probably my favorite. The first season, yeah. I mean, before going into it, the first season, comparing it to all the other, Marvel shows on Disney Plus, it was definitely my favorite one. Followed by Hawkeye, and then I would say WandaVision.
Does someone get an echo?
I'm hearing some kind of echo. Yeah.
Oh, is anybody using an Android device tonight?
That's me.
I saw some,
Corey, you coming in real low too.
I saw some pop-up thing on StreamYard earlier today when I was in here adding some stuff, and it said something about Android devices have a bug in them now.
Yep,
they're causing echoes on StreamYard. Is that what it is? Is somebody on an Android? Maybe that might be what it is.
I'm on Android, but I'm on Bluetooth earbuds too. So
yeah, you're not.
That's what they said to do, to use earbuds.
I think it might be Corey. He's coming in real low too. I could barely hear him.
Oh, I haven't heard him at all.
Corey, you might want to try logging out and logging back in and see if that helps.
Oh.
I'm gonna switch to my computer.
But
yeah, he said he's gonna switch to his computer.
Oh, okay. He's just being lazy.
Really low.
And if he's on his Android phone, he's just being lazy. He has a fucking computer. He just wants to lay in bed and talk on the show. That's what it is. Fucking shit. Goddamn redheads. Anyway. Yes, Loki. 72 thumbs up. Come on, somebody knows what I'm talking about.
But now I'm wondering if they're ever going to do a third season of Loki.
I don't think so.
Or if they're just going to end it there.
I think this plays in. This goes back into the movies. I think that was it for Loki in his own show. I think you pull him back into the movies now at this point.
We've gotten right now to a point where there's nowhere for him to go.
Yeah, there's nothing for him to do in his own show anymore. I mean, unless you're going to make the show just about Sylvie, which no, please, God, no.
And what the hell was with changing her hair to like a mullet?
Fucking mullet, yeah. What the shit was that?
People thought Sylvie was too hot. Well, let's make her
let's make her look horrible. Yeah, I don't know what was with the mullet. I don't care, but it was unacceptable, is what it was. It was fucking unacceptable, and that should never have happened. She looked horrible. I get that like she was they were trying. I think they were trying to do it like she was in the 80s or whatever, but like no. Anyway, yeah, no, I don't think you do I don't think you should do a season 3 of Loki at this point. You bring Loki back into the movies now. You bring him into Kang War. You have this, we're now to the point. You have Loki show up in the fucking very end of the third act of Kang Dynasty and just fucking bitch slap the shit out of Kang and save all the universes. That's what you do with Loki right now. You have him fucking save everything at the end of fucking Kang Dynasty. And then he just shows up and the Avengers are about to be fucking defeated. And here comes the God of Time and just bitch slaps fucking Kang. And then now you have God of Time Loki throughout the next Avengers movie, which is Secret War.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yep.
Yes, we can hear you now.
Yes.
All right. No, I was in here trying to cook. That's why I was on my cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
Not because I'm being a lazy bitch laying in bed.
Yeah, sure. A likely excuse.
Stop cooking.
It really is. But that's the best place to cook is in the shower. I mean, I get all the extra additional flavors that way.
Mm-hmm.
Like a nice bisque.
But yeah, I think that's what you do with Loki. If they're smart, you bring Loki in to fucking just decimate Kang and all his variants right at the end of Kang Dynasty. Then you have him throughout Secret War, and then he somehow helps reset everything in Secret Wars.
Then the Avengers would not know what in the hell's going on because they have no idea that this version of Loki even exists.
No, yeah, they don't know. I mean, they have. I mean, the last time the Avengers have seen Loki was in the first Avengers movie. That was the last time they even saw him. Yep. So, I mean, they weren't around during Thor: Dark World or Thor: Ragnarok. He was dead before, Thanos even showed up in Infinity War. So they've not seen him since he tried to take over New York, and he took him back, and that's when he disappeared. Was right after the invasion of New York. This version of Loki, anyway. So they have no idea what happened to him at that point. All they know is that last time they saw him was he was getting hauled back to Asgard. Mm-hmm. That's it. That's all they know. And then he's going to show up as like the god of everything. Dude, it was so badass, dude. It really fucking was. It was badass. It was a fucking great episode. It was a great like story for the character. Like it really did feel like the perfect ending to the last to these 2 seasons we've seen with Loki. Because
Loki can basically say his goodbyes by time skipping and stuff too. We're talking to
and everything we've seen in 2 seasons, we've seen Loki. His character developed over the last, it's been 3 years, I think, right? Since we got the first season. Between the first and second season, there was like over a year gap. But, we've seen his character go from the Loki we saw in Avengers to good guy, god of the universe, god of all space and time. And his character, he's had, I will say this right now, Loki has had the best character arc of any of the MCU characters.
Yep. They ruined Thor.
Yeah.
Then they made Loki the best.
Yeah. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, Tony Stark had a pretty good character arc, but his character arc all happened in the first movie. Captain America doesn't have a character arc. He's literally been the same good guy who stands up against a bully for the entire run that he's, whatever. Which is fine. I love Captain America, but he didn't really have like a fucking character arc. None of the other characters have had like character arcs. Maybe arguably Scarlet Witch, but like not nearly as good of a character arc as Loki just had.
Nebula.
So I have a question real quick. We're talking about, all the time jumps and with Kang and everything. I've heard that they were going to bring back Tony Stark and bring back
that is a rumor that they're bringing back Tony Stark, they're bringing back Steve Rogers. My understanding, the rumors that have slipped out have been that they would only show up during Secret Wars. It's not like they're going to continue to be around. They would show up they would show up in Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars to essentially end the MCU. Because be fully aware, people, that Kevin Feige is ending the MCU after Secret Wars. And what I mean by that is everything we've seen at that point for 17 years is getting completely reset, and they are resetting the entire Marvel universe.
Really?
That's already been leaked out. That's what, if you've read the comic, that's what Secret Wars does in the comics. It reboots the entire universe.
So I did read the comic book, so I'm just watching the show, so I don't know how it compares to comic books or what to expect in the future.
Well, I mean, there's lots of comparisons and lots of differences, but I mean, no.
So does that mean that after they reboot, the MCU after Secret Wars and everything, are they going to start making like alternate versions of the movies that we've already gotten in the MCU?
Not alternate versions of movies, but certainly alternate versions of characters. Yeah.
Okay, that'd be cool.
What they'll probably end up doing is similar like way DC did their like Crisis on Infinite Earths. They will they'll merge universes.
Yeah.
I hope we get
at the end of spoilers alerts again with the end of end credit scene. Monica Rambeau wakes up in another universe.
Yeah.
She thinks is her mom next to her, and the doctor walks in, and it's Beast in his blue Beast form.
Yeah. Now, that being said, all those universes are going to be destroyed in fucking
There
Secret
you go.
Wars, but they're going to come back as one combined universe where we're going to have the Avengers and Fantastic Four and the X-Men and all these characters. I'd be willing to bet they're going to bring in some Ultimate Universe characters as well. I think this is why we're starting to see the Ultimate Universe in the comics get rebooted. Is because they're going to bring some of those characters in. Would not surprise me at all if we got Miles Morales.
I'm fine with that.
I'm fine with that. I like Miles.
Yeah, so fine. I just really want a good version of Fantastic Four. You know, the first one was good, and then the remake they did was garbage. I'm sorry, I thought it was garbage. I want a really good version of Fantastic Four. Bring them back and tell their story a little more than what we've already received in the past.
Fox never could understand what made the Fantastic Four work.
I do. There is one thing that is concerning to me about all this Secret Wars stuff and how they're going to reboot everything is because, and I don't remember who I was talking to. Maybe it was you, Corey. I don't remember. There's been several leaks coming out of Disney that after Secret Wars, that Kevin Feige is leaving the MCU. He's leaving after Secret Wars.
Yeah, I think we talked about this the other night.
Yeah. And now he's leaving because, and these are the rumors coming out of Disney, he's leaving because he's going to go take over Lucasfilm from Kathleen Kennedy. Now that's a really good thing for Lucasfilm and Star Wars, and that may be a really bad thing for Marvel. And again, these are rumors. Don't know if it's true, but the idea, the rumors coming out were essentially that Kevin Feige knows that Marvel is never going to let him run things the way he did for the first, 8 years anymore, where he basically controlled everything. That regardless of what they say, they're going to keep pumping out so much content that he is unable to have direct control over all of it because he's spread too thin right now, which is why half the shit that Marvel puts out isn't any good. Whereas with Lucasfilm, he's essentially got Star Wars and Indiana Jones as two IP that require any level of cohesion, right? Because everything else Lucasfilm puts out, which, by the way, Lucasfilm does put stuff out from time to time that's not Star Wars or Indiana Jones, but the vast majority of it is Star Wars and Indiana Jones, right?
Right.
Indiana Jones is not something that deals with multiple characters and spin-offs and all these things, right? And Star Wars, while it does deal with multiple characters and spin-offs, it's a much smaller universe than Marvel, like immensely smaller. And it's something he could have actual direct control over completely without any interference or risk of being spread too thin. So he would be able to focus all his energy, like he did early on in the MCU, on every single project.
A question real quick. I know we jump around on topics and everything, and with the second installment, part 2 of Fantastic Four, we got Silver Surfer introduced in that one. Did Silver Surfer ever have his own comic book line or anything? I would love to see movies about him and his journey and everything, how he became to be, and things he's done over however long his lifespan is or whatever.
Comics, cartoon series, and
I figured so. Like I said, I don't read. It's been a long time since I read any comic book.
That was my jam back in the day. I love the cosmic storylines.
But I enjoy.
I've said this before, and I will say it again. I think that the way, and maybe, and I would love to see this. This is my pitch to Marvel. If anybody's listening, after Secret Wars, when you're going to bring in the Fantastic Four in a permanent way. Okay, and not just alternate reality versions. Okay. My pitch to Marvel would be do a Galactus movie first. The Galactus movie I want to see is Jared, what was Galactus's name? I blanked on his name before he became Galactus when he was in the other universe that preceded our universe. What was his name?
Galen. So
he was a scientist named Galen in this universe that existed before ours, and he knew that the universe was collapsing and was going to be destroyed. He was a genius, and he basically used his genius to create a way to survive the collapse of that universe and the birth of the next one. And that's how he came into being. He's from the universe before our universe even existed. I would love to see a story, a Galactus movie, where the first act is Galen and everything leading up to the collapse of the universe. The second act is him surviving the collapse and becoming Galactus. And the third act is him becoming the Galactus that we currently know in the Marvel universe, whether that be throwing in Silver Surfer or whatever. And the movie ends with him targeting Earth.
Well, if I remember correctly, the radiation wave that caused the Fantastic Four to get the cosmic radiation wave that caused the Fantastic Four to get the powers came from Galactus.
Oh, did it?
If I'm remembering correctly, I may be misremembering, but
because that's what I want to see. I say you do a Galactus movie that fully fleshes out the character. Give us Galen. Give us all this shit. I'm pitching this to Marvel right now, motherfuckers. You do that before you do a Fantastic Four movie, and just a one-off fucking Galactus movie. That would be awesome. But yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff that can be done. I have a feeling that you know, God of all Loki will not be around after Secret Wars. They're rebooting everything, and I get it. And honestly, they need to do something because this multiverse shit that they've opened up is dragging on too long, and they need to do something about it. And they've drug it on so long. They've lost Iron Man. They've lost Captain America. You know, they've lost a lot of other characters. Maybe it is time to reboot it because you're not going to bring those characters back. You know, I see Led Lace in the chat talking about the rumors that are going around about Secret Wars, which I hope are all true. You turn Secret Wars into a fucking nostalgia fest of fucking, you know, fan service by having Tobey Maguire play Spider-Man on Battleworld and Hugh Jackman playing Wolverine on Battleworld and all this shit. You know, you do all that. You make Secret Wars the biggest fucking fan service nostalgia fest that still has a good story that has ever been put on fucking screen. That's what you do with Secret Wars to end this version of the MCU with a goddamn bang and to make it fucking pop.
Got a question.
Yes.
So I just watched the Secret Wars in the Amazing Spider-Man from the 90s. Do you remember that?
Oh God, I vaguely.
Okay. So
yeah,
I
remember
don't.
when Beyonder shows up and all that. Yeah, it was kind of a yeah.
So I don't know anything about Secret Wars in the comics. I wasn't around for it. And anyways, so my question to you is, how much of that Spider-Man? Because I just watched that this morning. I was getting my son.
None. Because the Secret Wars that's happening is in the movies is the Secret Wars from 2015, which was called the same thing, but it was a completely different story.
So it's
that was the reset of the Marvel Universe.
Yeah, they just called it Secret War in the comics. It was not the same because what you're referencing, what they did in Spider-Man, was a rehash of the 80s comic series Secret Wars. What the MCU is doing to end the MCU is rehashing the 2015 Secret Wars, which has to do with all these different realities colliding into each other to the point that they're going to destroy everything. They're going to destroy all realities in the universe. And in the comics, but it's through Doctor Doom, Doctor Strange, and Molecule Man that they managed to cobble together one world that somehow exists outside of all the other realities that have been destroyed. And he's called God Emperor Doom. They're not going to do any of that story, by the way, because they haven't even introduced Doom yet. But that's kind of the story. It's like this last surviving planet in the middle of the void of nothingness that these three characters managed to use as like a fucking, you know, life raft to try and keep some part of reality alive on this planet they called Battleworld. And and then of course by the end they reset and rebuild the Marvel universe. But that's the story they're going to tell in the movies. The story that you're talking about, where the Beyonder shows up and kidnaps a bunch of heroes and villains from Earth, and makes them fight and shit.
Yes,
that's the one from the '80s. They're not doing that story.
Okay, thank you, because I enjoyed the story. I could
No,
tell
it's a good story. Yeah, it's a good story.
Yeah, it suffered for some issues, but I enjoyed it.
Which caused the convoluted origin of Venom.
Do you think that we are? Do you think this is the pathway that needs to go? Is a reboot at this point?
Yes, because the Marvel Universe, the MCU, is, I think it has too many problems right now. And most of it's caused by all this multiverse shit, which the multiverse stuff can be used and has been many times in the comics and in other, television shows and movies and things like that to tell really good stories. They've opened it up too big and let it affect too much and take over everything in the MCU, and it has to be shut down. And the natural way to do that is to go through the Secret Wars storyline and come out the other side with a completely rebooted MCU.
Okay. Now,
would that also include like Deadpool and stuff like that?
Yes, it'll include all the characters they now own rights to again, all the Fox characters and all that stuff. The only thing it won't inherently include is Spider-Man, because Sony will never let that go.
Right. With talking about Deadpool, when are we supposed to get Deadpool 3? And isn't Hugh Jackman supposed to make an appearance in Deadpool 3?
He's the second star in the movie. He's going to be in the whole movie, and
that's what I thought.
It's coming out in May 2024. They just moved it up.
Damn.
It was originally supposed to come out at the end of 2024, and now they've moved it up and said, no, now it's coming out in May.
Oh, that's good. That's still months away, though. I would love.
Yeah, it's about 8 months. Now. So, but 7 months, whatever.
Yeah, talking about Deadpool and what I'd like to see, they could even make it a TV series if they wanted to, or a couple movies. But I would also like to see shit on Cable. Josh Brolin as Cable.
Oh, I would too. I like Cable. Cable's a great character.
Yeah, he's awesome, and I like that they got Josh Brolin to play because I like him as an actor, anyways. But I would love to see more on him. How he, with the technology of time traveling like he did to come back to Deadpool's time, and just expound on that would be awesome, in my opinion.
Yeah. Let me get the super chat. I didn't even see the story right now. Sorry, Dom. It says Loki knew he would need comfortable shoes. Yes. Surprised he wasn't wearing Crocs, but yes.
I still can't believe those fucking things blew up like they did, especially how they put them in that what's the name of that movie? Because they thought they were the ugliest shit ever. Idiocracy, thank you.
Oh yeah,
that shit was great, but I can't believe how much they've blown up, and everybody's just such a fan of them. I've never worn a pair.
So we're talking about Marvel.
Sorry.
So now is the time to talk about the Marvels. I saw this movie this morning.
I'm sorry.
And I want to give everyone my opinions on it. Okay. All right. I'm trying to think of I'm trying to think of the order in which to give my opinions on this movie. Is it okay? Let's see. Is it a good Marvel movie? No. Is it a good comic book movie? Yeah, it's a decent comic book movie. Where does it rank in current Marvel movies? I mean, it's down at the bottom. Now, that being said, it's not as bad as the first Captain Marvel. It's not as bad as Eternals. It's not as bad as Thor: Dark World. I would put it in the same range as like the two movies. Oh, it's definitely better than Ant-Man: Quantumania. But I'd put it in the same range of like Thor: Love and Thunder. God, thank you, appreciate that. That's right in the middle of my sentence. Fucking mute yourself when you want to cough. Jesus Christ. I'm totally fucking with you, by the way. No, I'd put it in the same like level of quality of, again, Thor: Love and Thunder and Doctor Strange: Multiverse of Madness. So lower end Marvel,
both good movies,
but not the absolute worst of Marvel.
So would it have been better if they would have replaced Brie Larson? With that
Can I give my review? You haven't seen it. Do you want to talk? Do you want to review this movie?
No.
Replacing the actress is not.
No, I've thought a lot about this. I've thought a lot about this today because I'm trying to be fair to everything. So, okay, fine, fuck it. Yes, Brie Larson's horrible. Brie Larson's horrible in this movie. She had, and here's the thing. I have never seen, like, I know people, like, apparently she won like an Academy Award for something that I've never fucking seen or whatever, right? So I've only ever seen her in like this and then the King Kong movie, right? Skull Island. Those are really the only things I've ever seen Brie Larson in. Oh, and she was in that last Fast and Furious movie. I've never seen her act well in anything. Okay, she didn't act well in Skull Island. She didn't act well in that last Fast and Furious movie, and she hasn't acted well in any of the Marvel stuff she's been in. So I hear people say she's a good actress. I've never seen any evidence of that. She's not good. She's not good in this movie. All the bad things about this movie have to do with her and her character. That being said, Monica Rambeau and Kamala Khan are fucking really good in this movie. Like, I've watched Miss Marvel because I felt like I was forced to with my daughter, and I had no interest in it. It wasn't bad, but like, it was a Disney kids show. You know what I mean? Which is fine. You know, kids need their fucking superheroes too. But it was like on the level of like Good Luck Charlie and all these other Disney shows. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it was. It was not made for me, right? It was made for teenage fucking girls. That's what that show was made for, right? However, the character was actually much better in this movie than she was in her own show, right? Like, you know, she was a likable character. I didn't have a problem with her character. And I've always liked Monica Rambeau from going back to when she was in WandaVision. Those two did a good job. Brie Larson fucking sucks. And when more than a third of the movie focuses on her being the main character, it drags the whole fucking movie down. Right? It's really hard to watch because it's the three of them. And there's even some scenes where they get into like the fucking emotional situation between Monica and Carol Danvers. How, like, you know, in the first whatever, you know, like Carol told her when she's a little girl she was going to come back, and then she never did, and then her mom died of cancer while she was blipped and all this shit, right? If you've watched all this stuff, right? And so there's some like emotional shit there where like Monica feels betrayed that Carol never came back even when her mom was dying and all this shit, right? And there are scenes in the movie where Brie Larson, and I'm blanking, I apologize, the actress that plays Monica, I don't know her name, they're like in it talking about like personal shit and how Monica feels betrayed. And the actress who plays Monica is fucking just laying it all out and like giving it 110%. And Brie Larson, who's supposed to be like emotionally connected in that moment and feeling sad, is like, oh, yeah, uh-huh. And like just phoning the entire performance in.
I really meant to come back.
Yeah, exactly. It is so bad. Like the level of shit that like these other actors and are doing in the movie, and she's just fucking everything up in every scene she's in, right? Like it's so awkward to watch. Thank you, Led Lace. Teyona Paris. That's the actress who plays Monica.
If the rumors are true, she was being a prima donna on the set too, and she walked off at one time, according to the rumors.
Well, she's fucking horrible in the movie.
Who's the worst actress? Is it Brie Larson or is it fucking Halle Berry?
Ooh, well, I got to give the worst actress to Halle Berry because I've seen her in more awful shit. I've only seen Brie Larson in like 4 things. Now, she's been awful in all 4 things, but I've seen Halle Berry be awful in way more shit. So I still got to give it to Halle Berry.
You know what happens when a frog gets hit by lightning?
The same thing that happens to everything else. God
Gothica.
Damn.
That's all I got to say.
Fucking horrible. Anyway, so it's a very lopsided movie because anytime Brie Larson is on screen, it's like blatantly awful because she is not a good actress at all. And you can see everybody else around her trying to put in a good performance and like sell it. And they're doing, it feels like you're watching a fucking, a team where everybody's fucking laying it on the line. And the fucking quarterback is like fucking drunk and 100 pounds overweight and fucking like just passing the ball every round and like sitting down to take a break between every fucking huddle or some shit. Like it's like watching that.
Well, he stops.
Everybody else is doing their fucking break.
Yeah, I'm here for the gang. I mean, not the gangbang, the fucking German strudel.
Yeah.
What time are we starting strudel, bro?
9 o'clock my time, which is in an hour and 15 minutes.
God damn it.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's really awkward of a movie. And there is a couple of cringy scenes, all that have to do with Brie Larson.
Did she show her feet?
No, she did not.
I skimmed through it. I couldn't sit through the whole thing. I was skimming through.
That being said, now hold on. Now that being said, there was some really good shit in it too. There was some, let me put it this way. It was entertaining mostly, especially through the first 2 acts. It just wasn't good. Does that make sense? Like, it was entertaining. Like, I wasn't bored. Again, I liked it better than I liked fucking Ant-Man Quantumania. But it just wasn't good. Like, it had a lot of scenes that were fun. And
it shows, too, like, how selfish Carol Danvers' character is, too. When she knows they're swapping places, and she flies off in that one scene, and then turns places with Kamala, and Kamala's fallen to her death.
Yeah.
Was I the only one who was hoping that
they didn't even like they could have actually they even set up in the story, like when they're saving all those scrolls and you see Kamala tell that one kid, like, oh, don't worry, Captain Marvel's gonna save you, I promise. And they could have played up this whole like deeper storyline about how like Captain Marvel fucking always just fucking does whatever she fucking feels like doing, but that like because Kamala has such faith in her, like by the end of the movie she becomes a better person. And they just fucking didn't even try to do that. She does not become a better person by the end of the movie. Like
that would take some thought.
Yeah, that would take thought to actually try and put that fucking storyline in. But like I said, it's not a good movie. However, it's a Marvel movie. Like if you've watched all the other Marvel movies, there's no reason not to watch this one. I'm not saying go to the movies and pay for it. Don't do that. Okay? I'm not telling you to do that. What I'm saying is when you can watch it streaming somewhere or whatever, it's not the worst Marvel movie. It's still in like the bottom like 7 or 8 Marvel movies. Definitely. But it's not the worst Marvel movie. There are far worse Marvel movies.
Am I the only one who was hoping that
Brie Larson? And she's horrible in this, and it's just painful to watch these. By the way, fucking Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury in this movie, fucking hilarious.
Like, I'm sorry, Matt, too, if I keep interrupting. Apparently, I'm interrupting the way you talk.
Oh no, it's fine. I don't know.
It was in the chat. It was in the chat.
Am I the only one who keeps hoping that they would have introduced Rogue in this movie and killed her off?
No, because they're not introducing the X-Men until after Secret War.
I'm just saying they could have done it right now, and I would have been okay with it.
No, they're not introducing mutants yet. So
fair enough, but I'm telling you, I would have been okay with it.
No, I understand, and they probably will after Secret War, but they're not going to do it yet till they introduce the mutants and the X-Men. But
so that would be a perfect opportunity. The next movie when they get Monica Rambeau back, and Carol shows up over there, then Rogue just grabs her and just zaps all her powers out of her.
How do you think the introduction of the X-Men is going to go, Matt? How, even in a reboot, or how are they? Because remember the theory we had a while ago that I subscribed to was that we thought that Kang erased the
mutants,
the mutants, and that like they were always there, but then they weren't. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and that's how
I
we were
think
going to
that's-
get introduced to them. Like,
I think that's still a possibility, but it's going to come after the Secret Wars reboot. Is when everything gets rebooted. They've defeated Kang. All the multiverse is collapsing. All that shit's gone away. They've rebooted the MCU, and mutants are just going to be there.
Yeah.
So when
that's
you say
basically
reboot,
just-
what does that mean?
When I say reboot, okay, so what's going to happen after Secret Wars is the entire universe is going to get rebooted. We're going to have all new stories, probably all new actors. They will probably bring back Tony Stark and Captain America, played by different people. They're going to retell the origin stories are going to be different. You know what I mean? What happened to Corey? He's in the chat saying good evening later. What happened? I thought he just dropped out because his connection went down, because he drops out sometimes. Is he leaving? What happened? Fuck happened, Corey?
You yelled at him.
Maybe he's eating supper. He said he was cooking.
Oh, yeah, he is cooking dinner.
The fuck's supper?
That's called dinner?
Yeah,
Same
it's
thing.
called dinner.
Well, in the South, it's called supper.
Yeah, in the South, it's called supper. Dinner in the South is, well, dinner traditionally refers to lunch. Supper was dinner. Supper was the meal you have at night. Dinner was essentially lunch before lunch was a term.
Yep.
Nowadays most people just call everything dinner. But anyway,
Okay.
Yes.
So you were explaining what was going to happen.
Oh yeah. So no, I mean when they do the reboot, it's going to be a completely rebooted Marvel universe.
But
So
is it going to be established then, or you think it'll be like?
I think we'll get some origin stories, and I think in some of those origins, like I don't think we're going to get an origin story for Captain America and Iron Man, for instance, right? We may get let's say, an origin story for Fantastic Four, where somewhere in the story they mention Iron Man and Tony Stark, or somewhere they mention the Avengers, or they mention fucking, Captain America. And it's just going to be established. I think the characters we already know from the current MCU are what's going to be established, where we're not going to get redone origin stories. We're not going to get redone first movies. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's just going to be like these characters already exist. We don't need to tell their stories again. We did it in the last MCU. In the new MCU, if we're going to tell an origin story, it's going to be on the Fantastic Four. It's going to be on the X-Men. It's going to be on some of these other characters and teams that we haven't seen yet. That's where we're going to get our origin stories. And the other characters, the Avengers, are just going to be a thing that are already there in this new universe. You know what I mean?
So you think it'll be mostly established, but with our new characters, they'll bring them in. And how do they bring in the X-Men? Or do you think they're going to be established, or is it going to be
I think mutants are going to be established. I think this universe is going to start up with mutants already being a thing, but I think we may get an origin story for the X-Men.
Okay.
Of how Professor Xavier brings the X-Men together and stuff like that. But that it's going to just be established that mutants are a thing in this new universe.
What they can totally have like the X-Men show up, help out, then cut to like a flashback of their origin type thing.
Uh-huh. So I think that's probably what's going to happen. It's what makes the most sense. Because there's you don't redo Captain America origin story. Even if you got a new actor playing it in the new rebooted MCU, you don't need to tell his World War II story and him getting frozen and all that shit all over again. You don't need to tell Tony Stark's story all over again. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It gets tired to keep doing like when they reboot, do the origin again.
Yeah,
That's
it's just like Batman's
does.
fucking origin story. Jesus Christ, stop, please. Like, we don't need
That's
that.
one of the good things about with the last Batman movie. They basically skipped that. Patterson movie.
Sorry.
But
with the Patterson movie, he was Batman.
But I think it's something that needs to happen. I think the reboot needs to happen, especially with all this multiverse shit going on. We gotta kill it. You know what I mean?
Well, the Keaton Batman was good. He was Batman from the get-go.
Yeah.
You don't need, when it's a well-known character, you really don't need maybe a little bit of side story, just narration of telling something.
Yeah.
Well, like with Keaton, they referenced back to it when they needed to.
Yes.
It was an established event that you knew, and that they just, they did reference it and go back to it, but it wasn't like a pillar of it. It was a supplement to the story, not the story.
It's very well done that way. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Dom dropping a super chat. Thank you, Dom. Says, the unfortunate part of the Marvel mess is that casualties like Shang-Chi, Chu, I freaking loved it. Yes, I did too. I grew up on all the fucking kung fu fantasy movies and shit, as many people did. And I watched that movie, the first one, and I consider it one of my favorite kung fu fantasy movies. Like, it's really good. It feels less like a Marvel movie and more like a kung fu fantasy movie to me, which I'm perfectly okay with. And that's one of those movies, like, the first time I saw it, I was like, that was good. And then I saw it a second time, and I was like, man, that was really good. And then I saw it a third time, and I was like, fuck, this movie's great. And it's one of those movies, and I did the same thing with the first Doctor Strange movie, too. That it's a movie that I watch at least once every 6 months, and every time I fucking watch it, I like it more. And because I loved the first one. And it sucks, yeah, that basically I don't think we're getting another Shang-Chi movie between now and when they reboot the fucking Marvel Universe. So
one thing I would love to see them do when they reboot, focus a little more on we kind of touched on about before, is street level stuff. No, they don't have to have everything to be world impact events. They can have more street level stories, and it allows for more stories that way.
Yes.
If every movie is about, oh, this bad guy's going to destroy the world, everybody's going to die if I don't stop him.
Oh, it's like one story that I fucking thought they should have done as an Avengers movie. Keep it simple. Have the main bad guy be fucking Taskmaster.
Yes.
Just have and he's not even like the big bad per se. Like, he's the hired help, but he's so fucking badass. He can take on all the Avengers, right? And he's technically kind of a street level villain, but he's a badass street level villain. He's not trying to take over the world, but like, you have him come in and he gets hired to take out the Avengers, right? Like, he gets hired by Hydra or some shit to fucking kill off the Avengers.
That's the same thing. Like, She-Hulk made him a joke. The Wrecking Crew is an Avenger level team that take on the team Avengers.
Oh God!
In the comics, the Wrecking Crew
She-Hulk fucking happened.
Well, I was just saying the Wrecking Crew in the comics can take on the Avengers, and they made them an absolute joke in She-Hulk.
They made him a fucking joke, and then didn't even pay off the joke.
No, it's the same episode where they did the twerking. That's why nobody talked about it. They whitewashed Thunderball. They hired a white actor to play a black role.
Dom says, and this is what made the first Ant-Man movie so good, was that it was a great heist film. That's why I love the first Ant-Man movie. First Ant-Man movie is a fucking great movie.
That's why I loved it too. It's like, it's just a self-contained story that don't impact really the entire universe. It had a little cherry pick here with interaction with the Falcon. Introduces them to Avengers. Don't need to be a big Avenger story. I love that.
Yep. It's a great movie. It's a really, really fucking good. Some of the best movies in Marvel are the self-contained ones. Fucking Captain America, Winter Soldier, Ant-Man, Doctor Strange. Like, these are great fucking movies. And they're self-contained. And sometimes the threat is larger, and sometimes it's not.
So that was the problem with Quantumanium. It's like they made it like, let's have Ant-Man take on the biggest threat that's going forward and have him win by himself.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I don't know, man. Marvel's so off the rails right now, which sucks, because then they do something like fucking season 2 of Loki, which is fucking awesome. The same week that they're giving us the Marvels, which is like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? What are you not doing? And I know exactly what it is. It's all the bullshit that they put in place. What was it, 4 years ago now? Remember, you know how, because we all saw the reports coming out of Disney, how they put this whole bureaucracy between fucking Kevin Feige and the head of Disney. Well, and then they spread him to
Kevin Feige.
When Kevin Feige controlled all of Marvel, it was fucking great.
Yep.
It was great. And now some of the other people have come in and are just fucking it up. But then occasionally you get fucking something like Loki, which is great again. You know?
With the new employees coming in too, when the writers are not even afraid to make fun of Kevin Feige and put it in the story, and he can't do nothing about it.
Ugh. It's fucking ridiculous, man. No, it really is. Anyway, I don't know. Like I said, The Marvels was a movie that I didn't hate as much as I thought it was, and maybe that's why. Is because that could totally be my own expectations, at that point, which is I went in thinking I was going to hate it, so I didn't hate it. I didn't like. It's not a good movie. Don't get me wrong. It's not a good fucking movie. Don't pay to go see this fucking movie. And there's a lot of problems with it. But I will tell you this. It was more entertaining than fucking Ant-Man and Quantumania and Eternals and fucking the first Captain Marvel movie and Thor Dark World and a couple of others. It was more entertaining, even if it's not a good movie. But then again, I like Sharknado too. So what do I know? Anyway, let's move on. Oh, there was something I wanted to talk about. I don't know how many I had heard about this, but I had never actually looked it up before. And for some reason this week, I decided to look it up, which was the original Colin Trevorrow script for that third Star Wars sequel movie. Has anybody ever read about it? I mean, we've all heard of it. I just never read it to see what the story was supposed to be. Right? Because I was just curious. I was like, because I'm putting together. Anyway, I'm going to be doing a video on this shit. But like, I was curious. I was like, I wonder what it would have been. Like, what would it have been better than the clusterfuck we got in that third movie? I don't know. So I looked it up. There's a whole fucking Wikipedia page on here that fucking breaks down the plot of what this movie, which would have been called Duel of the Fates, was supposed to be.
Oh, I've been.
And I read it, and I don't know, like, it's hard to tell from just like a fucking plot summation if that would have been, that's more than a summation, but like, if that would have been better than the clusterfuck we got, right? Like, I don't know. I feel like anything could have been better than the clusterfuck we got. But I don't know about this. I was just wondering if anybody else had actually read this. It's like 4 paragraphs of summation about basically the bullet points of what would have happened in this fucking movie. And it's interesting, without seeing it ever made into a movie, it's hard to tell whether or not it would have been even decent or would have just been another shit show. But it certainly does appear, if there's one thing I can tell from it, it does appear that Colin Trevorrow at least had like a plan. That third movie we got, you could tell there was no plan. They just realized how bad fucking Last Jedi was received, so they brought back J.J. Abrams and was like, do something. And he just like cluster-fucked everything into a big pile, and then we got a movie. This at least...
They brought in J.J. Abrams, who's notoriously bad about finishing anything, to finish it.
Yeah. This at least, and again, I don't know if it would have been good, quote unquote, but like this at least is like, oh, you can see he had a plan and he had like he had put thought into it, whereas fucking Rise of Sky, whatever the fucking name of that was that movie?
Rise of Skywalker.
Was it Rise of Skywalker?
Yeah.
That movie like you could just tell it was thrown together. There was no fucking plan. They didn't know what the fuck they were doing. They're just making a fucking movie. They're just making shit up as they went along. This thing at least feels like, okay, he wanted to do something. It might not have been good, but he wanted to do something. I will say the biggest thing that as I was reading this, that I didn't like is that he still had Rose in it.
Yeah, no.
Why, I don't know. But I guess he was working with what, because originally he wrote the script after being told this is what Last Jedi is going to be, make it work. So I'm just assuming they told him, keep Rose in the fucking movie, so he wrote a part for her or whatever. I don't know. But
right.
I want to read this breakdown to you because this is what the movie was supposed to have been. And again, I am not making any claims this would have been a good movie. I'm just saying at least it felt like he had a fucking plan. You know what I mean?
Suck. The movie did. Yes.
So, all right. So here's how the plot of this movie, Duel of the Fates, is described. Remember, this is coming right off of Last Jedi. Says, several years after the events of Last Jedi, the First Order now rules the galaxy with General Hux as its chancellor, taking control of Coruscant. I always fuck the name of that planet up. Coruscant. The First Order publicly executes members of a crushed resistance and has blocked communications across the galaxy. Still free from the First Order's control, Rey, Finn, Poe, Rose, and BB-8 steal a star dreadnought from an occupied planet of Quat to take it to another planet that I can't say the name of, where surviving members of the resistance led by Leia have established a new base. Kylo discovers a Sith holocron in Darth Vader's castle on Mustafar, which leads him to seek the training of a 7,000-year-old alien named Tor Valum, who taught Emperor Palpatine's master, Darth Plagueis. During his training, Kylo fights a phantom of Vader and masters the power to absorb life energy, which he uses to kill Tor Valum. Meanwhile, Rey learns from Jedi texts that old Jedi temple in Coruscant contains a device which can restore galactic communications. Finn, Rose, R2-D2, and C-3PO go to Coruscant to find the device, while Rey, Chewbacca, and Poe go to Bonadan in order to find the location of the planet Mortis, as Rey has seen a vision of herself dueling Kylo there. Leia convinces Lando and his smugglers to join the Resistance and attack on Coruscant. On Coruscant, Finn and Rose, because we have to have Rose in there, finds and activate the device, which should allow Leia to inspire rebellion across the galaxy. But they are found by the First Order troops. Rose is captured. Finn manages to escape. He fights a stormtrooper designated RK-514 and spares his life after defeating him. RK-514 sides with Finn, and they convince other First Order stormtroopers to defect as well. Meanwhile, on Bonadan, Rey, Poe, and Chewbacca succeed in locating Mortis, but they're attacked by Kylo's Knights of Ren. They succeed in defeating the Knights, but Rey instinctively uses the Force lightning to kill one of the Knights, as she remembers that they were the ones who killed her parents and fears that she's in danger of falling to the dark side. Fearing for her safety and her friends, Rey departs for Mortis alone, while Poe and Chewie return to the Resistance base on Coruscant. Finn leads a revolution against the First Order forces with the help of droids, citizens, and defected stormtroopers, while Leia, Poe, Chewie, Lando, and the Resistance army arrive to join the fight. When the First Order is ultimately defeated, Hux kills himself with a purple-bladed lightsaber. After escaping from captivity, Rose rewires the hyperdrives of the First Order's capital ship, causing it to crash above Coruscant when it attempts to escape. On Mortis, Rey finds Kylo and battles him, but he blinds and nearly kills her. Luke Skywalker's Force Spirit offers moral support to Rey, and she confronts Kylo for a second time. Rey says her masters were wrong to reject the dark side and embraces both, allowing her to defeat Kylo. Kylo attempts to kill Rey by draining her life energy, but Leia manages to contact him through the Force and convinces him to stop. As a result, he transfers his own life energy into Rey, instead healing her and saving her life at the cost of his own. Before Kylo dies, his last words reveal Rey's true birth name to be Rey Solana. On the verge of death, Rey meets with spirits of Luke, Yoda, and Obi-Wan, who allow her to choose between staying dead or returning to life. Finn, Poe, Rose, and Chewbacca receive medals at the Resistance base. Finn and Rose settle on Modesta, where they raise Force-sensitive children. Rey arrives at their homestead and vows to teach the children about the Force and how the balance of light and dark will maintain galactic peace. Okay, so I'm not saying...
That sounds entirely more interesting than what we got.
It definitely sounds way more interesting because what we got was a clusterfuck of bullshit.
I mean,
well, I'm not saying it's good, but I'm saying he at least had a direction and apparently cared enough to write an actual story other than what J.J. Abrams did.
The only thing I liked about Rise of Skywalker was they brought back Palpatine for one more movie. That was the only thing I liked. Because, that actor can play that part perfectly no matter what. Ian McDermott, right? I think.
So I just ran across this week. I never cared enough to look it up.
Did you just call him Palpatine?
He did. I heard it too.
I swear I heard Palpatine.
He did say Palpatine. I heard it too, man. I heard
That
it too. And again, I'm not saying this is good. There's a lot of what's in this that I don't like. But the fact Rose is in it all together, the fact that Finn
they're
and
still screwing
Rose
over
would
Finn.
have kids together.
Poor Finn gets it no matter what.
So I will say one thing I do like, and this plays into something I've said from the very beginning. Finn got the fucking shaft. He should have been the star of the movie. It would have been great to see the hero character, the main hero character, not fucking Rey. She can be a secondary hero character, but the main hero character be a fucking ex-stormtrooper. And I do like that in a final battle, like somehow he has inspired other stormtroopers to fucking defect. I think that's something that would have made for a great story in the third movie. That, you know, him leaving and becoming a hero of the rebellion over the years has inspired other stormtroopers to fucking like be like, fuck, what are we doing? And he inspires an army of stormtroopers to fight against the Empire or fucking First Order, whatever the fuck they're calling themselves. That would have been a good story to build to over the course of 3 movies. If you had let Finn be the fucking hero he should have been instead of relegating him to fucking Rey's goddamn puppy dog who was just in love with her, making googly eyes at her through all 3 fucking movies.
Plus,
that
you would
dude
have
got
an
the
interesting
shaft.
dynamic with Finn being the hero, causing a rise up with the First Order troopers. It's almost like a reversal of Order 66.
Yeah, which would have been a great storyline. Like that would have been good. Again, most of the second 2 movies are trash. I still maintain I like Force Awakens. It's not a bad movie. I like it.
It was bad.
I would have loved
it was bad or good. It was.
I like it. I think it's a solid Star Wars movie. It goes completely to shit in Last Jedi, and then everything goes to fucking shit after that. But like, it was a decent Star Wars movie. Like it was a decent Star Wars movie. And I think if I were like rewriting that trilogy, I would leave Rise of or Force Awakens mostly alone. I would change some things in it, but I think mostly it's a solid movie. I think there's a couple things you have to change in it, but not much. I would leave 90% of that movie alone.
I'd remove Snoke.
I wouldn't remove Snoke, but I would make Snoke something completely different. I've already got a plan for this. I'm writing a fucking
because
trilogy
he's like the most worthless Star Wars villain I've ever seen.
Not the way I would write him. No, he wouldn't be.
Okay, all right.
I would write Snoke as Emperor Palpatine from the very beginning. He is Palpatine's clone, but he could not come out as Palpatine. Palpatine. But he could not come out as Palpatine. And like there's a whole thing behind it where at the end of the second movie, you find out he is Palpatine, and it's straight from the fucking books and comics and Dark Empire and all that shit, where he's a clone, where fucking Palpatine was ready with clones when he died. But he couldn't come back as Palpatine because everything had changed. So he came back and called himself Snoke, and fucking he went after Kylo, how he'd been manipulating Kylo since the time he was a child. We still get that scene where fucking Kylo thinks Luke is going to try and kill him, which forces him to go away, but we find out that was completely Palpatine fucking with his mind. Luke was never going to try and kill him. That was just shit he was forcing Kylo to see because he was trying to get Kylo to fucking come to him.
Right.
There, you could do some really good shit if you had wanted to with bringing Palpatine back, with him being Snoke, with Kylo fucking, turning against Luke, but have it all be masterminded by fucking Snoke / Palpatine.
Yep.
You could do some really good shit if you wanted to. That's ripped straight from the fucking pages of all the Star Wars Legends shit that we got.
And in Legends, Palpatine already uses clones, and the dark side actually burns out the bodies. He has to
basically Dark Empire happened after the Thrawn conflict.
That's what Snoke would be. He would just be a series of fucking bodies that Palpatine kept going into. That each one only lasts a few years, which is why he keeps himself away from everybody and only communicates via hologram. Because his bodies deteriorate and don't last very long.
Yes, I called it Duke's asleep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So you could. I've got a fucking full page of shit I've been writing because I'm going to do a video called "Could you make?" I don't know what the fuck I'm going to call it, but essentially the idea is: could you have made a good sequel series if you kept some of the basics the same? In other words, the same characters, same time frame, that kind of shit. Could you make a good movie or a good trilogy out of that shit? And I think you could. You got to change a lot of shit, but I think you fucking absolutely could. Anyway, I'm writing that because somehow I think I'm a screenwriter now, I guess. I don't know. No, I'm not writing a script. I'm just writing a fucking plot. But anyway, what was I saying? I don't fucking know. Point is, those fucking the sequel trilogy sucked. But is somebody snoring?
Duke's asleep. I called it.
God damn it!
He gets it too.
Wow.
Are you awake yet, Duke?
No, he's in for the.
He's in a deep one.
Okay, we're gonna try this to see if Duke wakes up.
Just know it, I can feel it, yo. They're having sex. And let me in, I'm trying to fuck. 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 Let me in, I'm trying to fuck now. I said, let me in. You gotta let me have it. Let me get a party now. Hey.
Are you awake yet, Duke?
It's great.
I got another one for you. You awake yet, Duke?
Yeah, that was the craziest thing that ever happened. I woke up and I was like, what's going on? And I was
texted him too, but he didn't.
I was like, what's going on? And I was everybody was quiet, and I was like, what happened? It was kind of creeping me out.
Fucking fell asleep. Better drink some fucking coffee.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get some drink right now, and I'm gonna be back because I'm excited for this.
Yeah, it's all your idea.
Because all of us are here.
Get woke.
Anyway.
Yes.
Anyways, Matt, back on the Star Wars topic.
Yes, back on the Star Wars topic.
I was talking to Duke a while back, and we were talking, and honestly, instead of the movies they made, they should have done the Thrawn trilogy instead.
Well, yeah, of course they should have. Yes, they should have done.
I'm glad they brought Thrawn back, anyways, no matter what. But they should have. They should have done Thrawn movies instead.
Oh, absolutely, they should. Dude, they should have done anything from the Legends era. It would have been better than what we fucking got.
Exactly.
What are you talking about? According to Kathleen Kennedy, there's no books, there's no comic books, there's no.
Oh yeah, there's nothing. It's fucking nothing.
I mean, Disney does own the Disney does own the Xenomorphs and the Predators, so I mean, they could have just
don't even
threw that in there.
That one.
No, just throw that in there.
Give them any ideas.
Dude, Jedi vs. Alien. That would be a badass movie. Jedi vs. Alien.
There was a comic book series in the 90s which went through that Aliens versus Predator, and it was quite good. So,
do you mean Jedi versus Aliens?
Have a Jedi
that'd be cool.
Predator with his blades on his arm or lightsabers.
I mean, just one Predator, right? Not the whole. No, not all of them. Just one.
Not all.
Okay. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles versus Predator.
That was cool.
Why do I feel like that happened?
Well,
and then the Predator fucking rips Leo's fucking spine out of his fucking body and holds it up and screams in the air.
He couldn't. It's behind a shell, but.
I mean,
I may be confusing something. Maybe it's because I know there's a Batman versus Predator, and there's been a TMNT versus Batman. So maybe I'm thinking at some point there was a TMNT versus Predator, but I may be wrong. I don't remember.
I love that Batman versus Predator comic book.
Yeah, it's good.
It still pisses me off. I can't get that figure, the NECA figure.
All right, I got 2 movies I watched this week that I want to talk about real quick. Both of them were actually pretty good. First one was a movie. I think it's on Hulu, but I don't remember. Is it on Hulu or Netflix or fucking Amazon? I don't know. It's on one of the streaming services called Quiz Lady.
Oh, I heard about that one. Yeah,
it's actually pretty fucking funny. Like it really is. It stars Aquafina.
Yeah,
as like a nerdy chick who's really good at this like fucking. Basically, it's like Jeopardy, but it's some made up game show that she's been watching her whole life. And then her dog gets kidnapped, and her sister's a crazy hoe. And fucking somehow she gets involved in this crazy thing to like drive from Pittsburgh to fucking Los Angeles to be on this game show that's hosted by Will Ferrell, basically doing his best impersonation of what's his face from Jeopardy, which is funny because he actually did that on Saturday Night Live.
He did that on Saturday Night Live.
So, and it's actually pretty fucking funny. It was actually a pretty good movie. I liked it, and it doesn't cost you anything.
It's the sadness is that Norm Macdonald wouldn't be able to do as Burt Reynolds.
I know, it's true.
No. Turd Ferguson.
All right, sorry. We got Dom's vibrating bicep says, and the circle of life is complete. Duke is awake. All it took is a screaming cowboy. And he's back. That's all it took. Anyway.
Hey, do you own a hat? No, like one of the cowboy hats? I know you have.
I own a cowboy hat? No, I don't own a cowboy hat.
What?
I don't.
I know I live in Texas, but
I don't own a cowboy hat, even though I live in Texas.
That doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, you're probably the only one, right? In Texas, you're like the only one that doesn't own one, right?
I would say the majority of people in Texas do own a cowboy hat, even if they don't ever wear it. Yes. I have owned a cowboy hat before. I do not currently own one. So, anyway, Quiz Lady was pretty funny. I also watched the movie Dumb Money, which I don't remember if it's Netflix or Hulu or what the fuck it's on. It's streaming on one of the places. But it's the story of the GameStop thing from a few years ago, from 2 or 3 years ago.
Oh yeah, I saw the advertisement for that.
That was actually really good. It's a really good movie. Highly recommend it.
Yeah,
really good movie. Yeah, you should definitely check it out. It mostly, I mean, the main character in the story is what's his name? I know I'm blanking on his name. But he was the YouTube guy that got everybody excited about it.
Yeah.
What's his fucking name? I can't remember his name. But anyway, he's like the main character, but it's got a bunch of other characters too. And it was actually really, really good. I highly recommend checking it out. It kind of has a vibe of, remember that movie they did here about 4 years ago about the 2008 crash? What was the name of that movie? I'm blanking on the name of that movie, but it had a bunch of people in it, a bunch of big stars in it. Fucking, it had Christian Bale and a bunch of people, and I can't remember the name of it, but it's a really good movie, like detailing kind of the breakdown of the 2008 crash, and like the people. Big Short. Thank you, Lead Lace. Big Short. I put Dumb Money up with that. It was that. It's that kind of movie that takes like this real thing that happened and the real people that were involved in it, and then like plays out the story, and it was really well done. So if you liked Big Short, I would say you definitely like Dumb Money. So
hey,
highly recommend it.
I got to applaud those kids for doing that, and they say GameStop.
Yeah, they say GameStop made a whole bunch of money and fucked over a whole bunch of corrupt fucking pieces of shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
So good, they won all around. But anyway. Dumb Money, great movie, highly recommend it. Quiz Lady was funny. It's not like a great movie or anything, but it's funny. So if you want to laugh, then fucking watch that one. We got some new trailers this week. Avatar: Last Airbender dropped its first trailer, more of a teaser, but if you've watched the original show, which I've watched it all like 2 or 3 times. I love Avatar: Last Airbender.
I did too.
I even like Legend of Korra. Not as much, but
it's not as much, no.
So that Netflix dropped their first trailer. Again, this was a teaser, although it's a pretty long teaser, but it the trailer doesn't lay out any story points, but it's just like images and stuff going on for like a minute and a half and different scenes and things.
Does it at least look better than the M. Night Shyamalan movie?
I'm gonna tell you what, the trailer was fucking awesome.
Okay.
As a huge fan of Avatar: The Last Airbender, this trailer got me pumped.
Okay.
Like, I was watching it going, fuck, I cannot wait to see this.
Are they all white kids like on M. Night Shyamalan?
No, they're not. No, they're not. They're all. I mean, most
they
of them,
didn't turn the entire Fire Nation from Japanese to Indian in this one, did they?
No, almost everyone that was in the trailer was Asian.
Okay. Good.
So anyway, but then the kid who's playing Aang does look more like a Buddhist kid, which he should.
He should.
He was not supposed to be Asian.
No, he's supposed to be Buddhist, so probably.
Yeah. So everybody looked appropriate to what they should look like based on the fucking series. The trailer was great. I mean, look, this show could come out and completely suck. Let's not, whatever. I'm not.
Because there was controversy that the original creators quit and walked out with creative differences. So
yeah,
there's that.
It could still suck. I don't know, but the trailer looked really good and did get me excited as a fan of Avatar. So yeah, I was excited about that. We also got a new trailer for some movie on Netflix coming out. I don't know when, called Damsel. Somebody watch this trailer and tell me if you can figure out what the fuck is going on. Like, the trailer was really good, but you know those trailers that are visually really cool looking, but like by the end of it, you don't know what the fuck you just watched? That's what I would describe this as. The trailer just dropped like today, and it's some new Netflix movie called Damsel. And it looks like it takes place in like fucking Fantasyland times, and there's like a fucking princess who has to do something to save a kingdom. I don't fucking know. It was a cool looking trailer, but I couldn't tell you what the fuck it was about. So if somebody wants to watch that trailer and tell me what the fuck I watched, that would be awesome. Because I genuinely don't know what the fuck I watched.
Can I mention one?
If it's the one I'm about to mention, I'm going to shoot you off a fucking ladder in about an hour.
Okay, you go first.
So the best trailer that came out this week was Ghostbusters Frozen Empire.
Okay,
yes.
No, that
wasn't the one you were going to mention? Okay,
no.
Well then you're still safe when we play.
I'm actually excited this time.
Dude, that trailer was awesome. Now here's the thing. I really liked Ghostbusters Afterlife.
I did too.
I didn't.
I thought it was a great movie. I thought it was a great follow-up to the original two movies. It was so much better of a movie than that shitty one that came out in 2015 or 2016.
It was so much better.
That piece of shit came out. Because that was a horrible fucking movie.
It makes a world of difference when you write a script.
I thought it was trying too hard to be Stranger Things.
I didn't think so.
No,
I did.
I mean, I know the kid from Stranger Things was in it, so I mean, I get that it kind of feels like that, but like, no, I didn't. It felt, it felt like the beginnings of a new generation of Ghostbusters to me, and
I like they're connected to Egon.
Yeah,
yeah,
and yeah, so I liked it a lot, and this one fucking looked great. They're going back to New York. Shit's going down hardcore in New York. I love that last fucking image that it shows of like fucking Paul Rudd and the chick, and then the two kids fucking sitting there in their fucking outfits with their shit. Like, the whole trailer was great. I love the trailer. Yeah. It got me really excited for the fucking movie.
And then they did like an 80s soundtrack on it with Cruel Summer.
Yep, got the 80s soundtrack and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cool summer. And then everything goes to shit. Yeah.
Yep.
So I liked it a lot. It was a great fucking trailer, and I hope it's a great movie. I'm just basing it off of Afterlife, which I liked. Now, that being said, the premise of this movie looks way better than Afterlife. Now that they're back in New York and shit's going down and stuff, like, this looks like it could definitely be a better movie than Afterlife, and I already liked Afterlife.
Yeah.
So I'm we'll see.
Well,
I'm
hoping it's better for me. I'm hoping it's way better.
Did anybody else watch the first season of Reacher on Amazon?
No, I did.
I really liked that movie or that show. Have you seen the trailer for season 2? Just dropped a couple days ago. Damn.
Oh, I watched it too. The first season.
Damn. It looked fucking awesome.
It looks. It's
I didn't see it.
Even a lot better premise than the first one.
Oh yeah, it looks like they're pumping up the fucking action big time from the first one.
And dude's been like hitting the gym like crazy too. He's even
Oh
bigger.
shit, he's fucking goddamn. He looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger in his prime.
Damn, he's even bigger for the last season.
Yes, this dude looks fucking huge, huge. And the fact that he's actually that actor is considerably taller than Arnold Schwarzenegger. Because I think that actor is like 6'4". Duke, you've seen.
He actually looks like the way Reacher's described.
Yeah. Now, Duke, you've actually met Arnold Schwarzenegger in person. How tall did you say he was? And Duke's asleep again.
Duke's asleep again.
Damn it.
God damn it. Well, I think Duke said before he's... Huh? Is Duke here?
Duke, unmute yourself. You're muted.
What's up? I'm here. What's up? What's up?
No, we were talking about the new trailer for the new season of Jack Reacher, and I was saying that the dude who plays Jack Reacher looks like fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger in his prime, except for the fact that he's considerably taller than Arnold Schwarzenegger. And I said, you've met Arnold Schwarzenegger before. How tall was he? Because you said he's shorter than he claims to be.
Yeah, so I met him in 2009 in 29 Palms. He was the governor at the time and showed up on base and did like a walkthrough, and like I met him and he was way shorter. I'm 6'1", and
I think it's what he claims to be.
He's like what, 5'9"?
I towered over this dude, and I was in boots, and like I mean, it felt really weird because I mean, like in your mind, you think he's like very tall,
right?
He was not that tall.
All right.
It felt like he was considerably shorter than I. So I'm telling you, like
Stallone's a little short dude too.
I'm not like hating on it. It is what it is. But that's
well, yeah. I mean, especially like you watch these movies growing up. I just always assumed. I've never met the dude.
Yeah,
I just always assumed he's like 6'2", 6'3", something like that. Just this huge motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know.
I get it. Like the Duke, John Wayne. They had people like stand in holes next to him, so he always looked big. I mean, they would literally like dig a hole for somebody to stand in, so he could tower over them. It's a part of doing movies. I understand that, but it's disingenuous when you meet the person, and especially Arnold from our background with who we are as kids. Who did you look up to? He was like the dude.
Well, Humphrey Bogart from Casablanca. They filmed the whole movie with him standing on top of a soap crate.
Yeah,
because he was short. He was a short dude.
I've seen him in several things. African Queen and shit. You can tell he's fucking short as shit.
Yeah. So in most of those old movies, he's usually standing on one or two soap crates stacked together.
Yeah.
The old wooden ones.
Bogart was not a tall dude.
No, he was not.
But
so was he part of the Lollipop Guild when we didn't know it?
He was. He just smoked a cigar instead of sucking on a lollipop. But the point is, Alan Richson, I don't know, Ledley's put it in the chat, like is as big as Arnold Schwarzenegger ever was in this new trailer, yet he is a much taller dude. Like this dude looked like he could go back and fucking remake every Arnold Schwarzenegger movie ever. In this fucking trailer.
Height as me.
He's goddamn huge.
It's just too bad he's nowhere near his character because he's very anti-Second Amendment.
Oh, fuck.
Is he? Oh, jeez. Come on, Dad.
Well, anyway, the trailer for Reacher 2 Season 2 came out, and it was a very good trailer. Got me pumped. Want to see it. Last topic I have for tonight. I decided, because it's on, I guess it was on Netflix or something. I don't know. I haven't watched this movie since it came out. I think I went to the movies to see this and have never watched it since because it wasn't that good. The Mummy with Tom Cruise.
I watched it.
And it's on Netflix now. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to watch it again. And I wasn't like watching it again to see if I would think it's a better movie. And to be fair, it's okay. Like it doesn't completely suck, right? But it's not a great movie.
No, it's not.
And as I'm watching this movie and I'm paying more attention to it because I've seen it before and I'm just kind of like, whatever. And I'm not like the first time I'm seeing it and I got to, like I'm watching it and I'm paying more attention to specifically, and I forget his name, but Tom Cruise's character, whatever his fucking name is. And I'm watching this, and then I'm remembering when this movie came out, which was like 2016 or 2017. And I'm watching it going, this motherfucker's playing Chris Pratt. This motherfucker's playing Star-Lord as done by Chris Pratt. That is exactly who Tom Cruise is being in this fucking movie. This movie was written for fucking Chris Pratt. This movie was not written for Tom Cruise. He's literally playing fucking Star-Lord. And then I'm sitting there watching the movie and going, this would be a way better fucking movie if Chris Pratt was in this goddamn movie. Like, it would be a fucking way better movie. I like Tom Cruise, man. He's like the last remaining superstar left on the planet that can get people to go see a movie with his name alone. But this was not a good fit for him at all. This was not a character he should have played. And as I'm watching this movie, not only is it blatantly obvious this movie was written to portray a Star-Lord type character that should have been played by Chris Pratt, but like it would have been a way better movie. Even if you did nothing else, if you just fucking left it the same and just had Chris Pratt play that fucking character, it'd have been a way fucking better movie. And so I'd never noticed that before because I wasn't really paying attention the first time I saw it.
My theory is Never Enough Ammo is gay for Chris Pratt.
No, there's a lot of other people I'd be gay for before Chris Pratt. Be fucking gay.
Give us the top 10. Give us the top 10.
I don't have like a top 10. I got a top 1.
Shit. All right.
Okay, give us the top 5.
The top 1 is Chris Hemsworth. I'd totally fuck that dude. That is a beautiful fucking man right there. And if you say he's not, you're fucking lying. That just makes you more gay. That is the best looking man on the face of the planet. Number 2 is Henry fucking Cavill. Those are the 2 best looking fucking men on the goddamn planet. I don't give a shit how not gay you are. Those are 2 extremely good looking motherfuckers. Like if those 2 got together and fucked and somehow had a baby, it'd be like God. It'd be like the new reborn Jesus or some shit. I'm just saying.
Oh my.
I'm going to really offend some motherfucker. If this gay baby was born from Henry Cavill and Chris Hemsworth, it'd be the new Jesus. I'm going to piss somebody off out there with that shit.
If a baby is conceived through butt sex, do you shit him out?
I mean, you'd have to, right? Unless you get a C-section, I guess.
Oh, that's a good point. I forgot about the C-section.
I don't know how that fucking works.
The Orville showed us that they lay eggs.
They laid eggs? Butt eggs? Okay. It's just a butt egg. It's a butt egg baby Jesus or something.
Remember the Mocklins?
Or I guess it could be a butt baby Muhammad. Either way. Let's offend everybody while we're here. Fuck you, Hamas. And fuck your Muhammad. You pieces of shit.
Yeah, Muhammad's the gayest one of them all. Like if there was like a contest to see who the gayest deity in history of the world was, 100% Muhammad would win.
Mm-hmm.
I'm offended for the Muslims.
Well, because he actually fucked little boys. So, you know.
Yeah, what's the dancing boy thing called? Like Bacala or something?
Something like, yeah, it starts with a B. I can't remember what it is. Yeah, it's literally a trend that he fucking started. So
yeah, they take 12-year-old boys and dress them up like girls and pass them around.
Yeah.
I do not stand for this. This is so offensive.
And the fucked up part is like our Marines and our fucking dudes on the sand pit over there saw this shit happening. And since like at one point or another, these people were fighting on our side, at least on paper, they were told to look the other way.
Fucked up shit.
Like, I don't care, bro. If that's what you're doing, like, you're not on our side. Like, I don't care how much you're helping. It's not enough.
All right, Kelvin dropped in the super chat, says, read my last chat. He says, but are you gay for Ryan Gosling? I've seen a lot of memes about that for some reason. No, I don't think Ryan Gosling's a good-looking dude, to be honest. Like, I think he's, like he's in shape. But, like, his face, like, he's not a good-looking dude.
Warhammer's got it. Bakabachi.
There you go. Bakabachi. Yeah. Fucking gay Islamists. That's what they are. A bunch of fucking... I was about to say it. I'm not going to get kicked off YouTube. But anyway.
You can say the 6-letter F word. It's fine.
No.
I'm not going to do it for you on your channel, but I'm telling you that you won't get a strike.
I would do it on one of the channels I'm streaming to right now, but I'm not going to do it on the other.
That's fine.
And
I'm not going to do it for you, so don't worry.
Oh, and the, YouTube's wonderful thing, limited ads again, like we did something offensive on the top 10 Marvel Legends.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Fucking I haven't checked mine. I wonder if they'd fucking goinked mine, too.
Instead of saying the word, we should just say, that dude's a gamer word.
It's true.
Because if you say gamer word, everyone knows what you mean.
Ads on mine are fine.
Some apparently they thought something was offensive on my channel.
Oh, wait, hold on. Last time you did this with us. Oh, and now they've gone back and corrected the one for action figure vehicles, and it's no longer limited anymore. It was when I first did it the other night, and now it's not.
What the fuck? Mine's still limited.
Well, you do get body parts that's all over the table. That's probably it.
That's probably what it is.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know. But, well, we're streaming the same thing. It's the same fucking one. It's literally, we're both streaming to our channels the same goddamn show. Like, why his would be limited on ads and mine isn't doesn't make any fucking sense.
I requested on the review the one with the vehicles, and they said, "Yep, it's offensive."
Yeah, I didn't even request a review, but I talked about it the other night. We were talking about it because when I first switched it over, it did say limited ad availability or whatever, and now it doesn't. I don't know why. Yeah, the one from Friday doesn't say it either.
They got a hate boner for my channel,
Apparently. Or they just don't give enough of a shit about my channel to fucking care. I have no idea. It's one or the other. I don't know which. But I went to the movies today, and then I went by Ollie's, and I picked up two things from Ollie's I wanted to show everybody. Although only Jared would care. I don't care.
Well, I just opened the Ollie's figure up right then.
So I got... I'll take this shit off of here. I got me another Snake Eyes because I can always do customs with him.
For $5, it's hard to pass that up.
I know. No shit, right?
And it makes the trip at least worth that.
Yeah, so I picked that one up. But when I got there,
hey, for $5,
you know I'm a 3 3/4 inch fan. Shut up, Honda. They had. I almost bought it. I almost bought all of them they had because they had 5 of them. But then I was like, nah, I'm just gonna get one because I've already got one. But I was like, damn, I could make an army of these, dude. Fucking $12. They had hisses.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Plus, it comes with the driver and the tank.
Yeah, plus it comes with the fucking driver. And I was like, what the hell? $12? So I picked one of those up. So
I don't know how you could stop at one.
I did. I wasn't going to, but then I was like, you know, I don't know. I already have one on my shelf, and I don't know how much room I've fucking got. I definitely got room for one more.
Is the one you got black or blue?
Blue. It's exactly like this one. I already have one of these. So it's exactly the same.
You can have a lead tank and 2 support.
Yeah. I might go get another one for $12 fucking, man. Seriously, you got to have an army of these motherfuckers for what they've got. But, yeah, that's all I picked up from fucking Ollie's. Nothing crazy. I looked around to see if they had anything. I also went by Ross, and there was a couple things I wanted to get from Ross, but then I looked at the line at Ross, and I was like, it's not worth it. And so I just left.
I've done it before, too. I've went and seen something.
Do you love it?
Well, I'll get this since I'm here.
It was fucking like, because it was it was the Transformers Legacy, the new one, the black truck that looks like Optimus Prime.
Oh, a Scourge.
Yeah, it was like Scourge, but it was like the deluxe one. Yep. Like in a big ass fucking box, and he comes with with his tanker and everything. And it was like $14.
Yeah, it's great.
And
it was $55 in the stores.
Yeah, it was like $14, and it was that and something else. I'm gonna be honest with you right now. I don't remember. Oh, it was the Power Rangers Piranha fucking monster.
Yeah, I picked that up too.
That looked cool. And that was only like $7. And I was going to pick both of those up. And then I walked to the front of the store and saw the goddamn line doing this shit. And I was like, no, this shit ain't worth it. I fucking left. I was like, I would have bought them because they were both cool. The Piranha thing looked fucking cool. And I was like, you know, I don't really do Transformers, but this is a really good price for a fucking big deluxe figure, right?
It's a nice piece too.
And I was like, but I'm not waiting in this fucking line. I'm not going to do it.
I've done the same thing.
So yeah, I just fucking left. I wasn't going to fucking deal with that shit because I ain't, no, sorry. I can't do that.
One of my regulars on my channel is Sector 2813. He was at Marshall's today, and they had the remote control Hot Wheels 1/10 scale Batmobile, $60.
Oh, dude, you know what I saw today at Ross was a fucking 1/12 scale fucking Lamborghini Vero or something like that. Now, it was an RC car, so I was looking at it like, and it was only like $12. And I was looking at it like, man, I wonder if I could do something with that. But I know that's just a shell, and it's got all the RC shit inside, so there's probably not room for anything. So I didn't think, I was just like, no, probably too much fucking work to try and turn that into anything. But like, it was a legit 1/12 scale fucking Lamborghini.
Nice.
And it was fucking nice, but I think I put all the work into this shit for something that's too big for my shelf.
Yeah, my buddy, he asked me if you want me. I told him like that price. I'd be tempted to pick another one up. He said, "You want it?" Yeah,
dude. I used to have this 1/5 scale Baja truck RC car.
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude, and it had like auto tracking on the front wheels, so like if you took it off jumps or something, the wheels would always point the right direction when it landed, and like that thing was fucking cool. And
oh yeah, absolutely. Those fucking things are huge, man. They're badass.
And then it snowed really hard one day, and I was like, "Oh, let me take it out in the snow," and it was ripping around, dude, and it was so much fun. And then the snow melted and killed it on the inside.
Oh shit!
Yeah, so I didn't have it anymore after that.
That sucks. Well,
like you would think that they would be able to get at least a little bit wet, but apparently not. Or at least where the water got to wasn't good.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess like if it gets around the fucking motor or something and gets in there and fucking eats it up. Although, can't you replace the motors on those things? I mean, when we used to do fucking RC cars back in the day, we would swap out motors all the time because you get higher voltage fucking motors and shit in your.
I think it was the circuit board got fucked.
Oh yeah. That would fuck it up completely. Yeah. Oh well. Oh fucking well. Anyway. All right, motherfuckers. This is about it for us. We do have another stream coming up right after this on only the Geek Fusion TV channel because we're going to do some gaming. We're going to do a little German strudel gameplay, which we haven't done in a really long. I don't think I've done German strudel gameplay
in years.
Well, I haven't done it at all on my second channel. We used to do it only on the NEA channel. So we're going to be doing German strudel gameplay on the Geek Fusion TV channel. So if you want to hop on over there and just watch us play games and talk shit for a couple hours or whatever the fuck we end up doing, feel free to come over there and shoot the shit with us. Bring a beer, whatever you want to do, and we're just going to sit there and fucking play games and talk shit. That's basically what it's going to break down to. But yeah, we're going to do that here in about 15 minutes. And I believe that is it for the Geek Chat for this wonderful, wonderful Saturday night. Pleased to join us next week. We have the Geek Chat next week. We've got the Toy Chat on Friday night. Of course, I've got my full week schedule on NEA going as per usual. Lots of stuff going on pretty much all the time. And right now we're going to go play some fucking video games. So
I may be MIA on Friday.
Yeah, that's fine. Well, if you're not going to be there, I might not do it anyway. We'll just take a week off if you're not going to be there. So, but we're going to end with a little bit here, and we're going to go from there. So I want to wish everyone farewell and just say,
let me in, I'm trying to fuck. Let me in, I'm trying to fuck.